everyone. I'm so glad you could join us today. I am Audra with Audra Heller and Associates at Keller Williams. And if you've been watching any of our podcasts, Lunch and Learn series, we've had different guests talking about homeownership, about maintenance, about interest rates, and also different organizations and businesses within our community. I like to use this platform to introduce different people in case you haven't heard about their organizations. And that's why we have today's guest. Miss Christy May is joining us. She is with an organization called Level Up. I had the opportunity, I've gone a couple times. They do a spring fundraiser, a fashion show and dinner, and it was so much fun this past spring. And all of my guests had an amazing time. And I thought, what a better place to invite Christy to come talk about Level Up. But let's first start with Christy. Tell me, obviously you and I know each other, but tell me a little bit about yourself, family, and that type of thing. We'd love to hear more about you.
Well, thank you. And I really appreciate you inviting me to be on your podcast. I'm an avid podcast listener myself. So my name is Christy May. I'm the executive director of Level Up Kids. And some of you may recognize us as Miles of Smiles. Back in 2002, we started this organization where we were providing free comprehensive dental care in the Clay and Platte County school districts for children who, for maybe financial and transportation and insurance reasons, weren't able to see a private dentist. So back in 2019, we changed our name to Level Up Kids because we added a vision program. And our goal is to continue to add programs that allow us to get kids to the level that they need to be to successful in school and in life. So I've been with the organization for many, many years, and I've just enjoyed living and working in the Northland and providing these services to needy children. I have 3 children of my own who are all out of the house now. I'm a recent empty nester. So that's a little bit about myself.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, that is one thing that I always forget, that it did start out as Miles of Smiles, and a lot of people are familiar with that. Talk to me a little bit more about the history. I mean, you said it started kind of in Clay and Platte County. It's expanded from there. Tell me a little bit more. Like, do you have employees? Is it just you? Is it all volunteers? Talk to me a little bit more.
Well, it's a great story how we got started. There was a young couple, Mr. Irvin and Mrs. Nevada Linscomb, who moved to the Northland as a young married couple in the 1950s. And they started a business called the Frontier Feed Bag. And they were operating out of a warehouse in North Kansas City. Their company became very, very successful, and they continued to buy up property and real estate in North Kansas City. They were never able to have children of their own. Mrs. Linscomb was a substitute teacher in the North Kansas City School District. And they just loved their employees and their families, and they just wanted to give back to the community as they aged. And then Mr. Linscomb passed in the 80s, and Mrs. Linscomb passed in the 90s, and they left their estate into the Linscomb Foundation. And at the turn of the century, the folks that were running the Linscomb Foundation wanted to make a really big impact in the community, and they did a study, and they found that children have a really hard time finding dentists in the Northland. There was very little public transportation at that time, and there were very few providers that were taking Medicaid. And so they came up with an idea to start a school-based dental program. And I happened to be living in the same neighborhood as one of the people that were on that task force that were looking to find how to start a school-based dental program. And so I was hired as the dental program director to launch this dental program. We started out as a program under Northland Healthcare Access, and within a couple years, the program had grown, and we needed more employees, and we needed a bigger space. So we became Miles of Smiles, Inc. in 2005, and so I continued to not only be the dental program director, but the executive director of the whole organization. And when you become your own 501c3, there's a whole lot of other things that go into that as far as boards and a nice big diversity of funders and things like that. So we have been serving the Northland primarily since 2002. And when we became Level Up Kids in 2019, With our vision program, we have reached out to a couple of schools in Jackson County and up in the St. Joe area as well. That's a very small portion of what we do. We're still very much focused on the Clay and Platte County area, but we currently have 3 full-time dental teams that are out in the community or working in our fixed office, which is on Antioch. We're seeing kids every day of the week, year round. And then our vision program is also out in the community, either on the vision van or in schools, helping schools complete their mandated vision screenings. We have some really neat tools that we were able to buy with a grant that really allow us to do really reliable vision screenings. And then once those kiddos are identified through a screening that need a comprehensive eye exam, we're able to pull our van up and do a comprehensive eye exam. And they get to pick out their glasses on the van, which has been really fun for the kiddos to do. And then we bring the glasses back to their school a few weeks later. So in a nutshell, we have a deep history here in the Northland, and we have been able to reach out to a few neighboring communities as well.
I love that. So you're not just doing the dental exams or the eye exams, you're also providing glasses for the children, or if they have dental issues, like, do you do surgery or help them get introduced to maybe an orthodontist or anything like that?
We do. I call it comprehensive dental care. So when the child
Okay.
first comes to see us in our, I call it a temporary dental clinic that we set up inside the school, the dentist will do a comprehensive exam, and then they'll send a note home to the parents the parents have already signed a consent to treat. But they'll send a note home and say, hey, they've got, 5 cavities, and, maybe they need a pulpotomy, which is kind of like a root canal on a baby tooth. They might need some extractions. They may need a crown. We do all of those things in the school. We do have just an oral pain relief that we do, topical. If they need more than that, we do in our fixed office. We can offer the laughing gas and some other tools to help them get through a lot of their dental treatment. But we try to do as much of it as we can in the school. We're usually in a classroom or in a section of the library. Sometimes we're even on the stage of the gym with our portable dental equipment. And we're able to get the children through most of their dental care right in the school setting. And it's just been so convenient for parents because they don't have to take time off work. They don't have to find a provider that takes, Medicaid, or if they happen to have no insurance, there is no cost to the families for what we do. So when they're finished seeing our dentist, they're pretty much set for another year, and then we'll come back next year and do the whole process over again with an exam and cleaning. We do a lot of oral health instruction. We give every child that we see a bag full of oral health supplies to take back home. And again, we will do the fillings, the crowns, everything in the school, unless for some reason they just can't get through it. Sometimes there's some, anxiety, or if they have a number of teeth that need treatment, then sometimes we'll ask them to come to the office to get that done in a more comfortable fashion. So
That is amazing. Just thinking about that, our kids, if they have, everyone always looks at your smile and your teeth and thinking if they couldn't afford it or don't have the ability, insurance or whatever. What an amazing organization. And just the fact that when we started talking, I'm like, you're going to the schools, like the kids are just pulled out. So they're not missing school much. It's easier on the parents. Like, I love that philosophy of just helping them, because again, if they can't see, then they're not going to be able to do the schoolwork. And if, just the teeth give you such confidence having nice, pretty teeth, or if they're in pain and have things, like, you're there to help. So what a great, great cause. This is amazing.
It's so true. There's so many funding opportunities out there for mental health, particularly since COVID. And we have found a tremendous amount of studies that have indicated that if your teeth hurt and if they don't look pretty, if you're not being successful in school, if you're not sleeping well and getting in proper nourishment, if you're not having academic success, all of those things contribute to your self-esteem, to your confidence, to your social and communication abilities, and all those things. So there is a direct link from teeth and eyes. And those are sometimes things that fall off the priority list. If you're a parent that's just really struggling to pay the bills, and you have one car in the family, you're trying to get to work, those things fall off the priority list to get the teeth checked and the eyes looked at. And sometimes you don't even know as a parent that your child may have some deficiencies in their vision, and they might have cavities that sometimes children just get used to kind of some tooth pain and they don't think or complain about it. So we're really happy to be able to go into the schools and alleviate some of that stress off the parents so that we can get in there and take care of everything while they're at school. So it's been a big help. And we have lots of studies that can prove that school-based services like these are really contributing to academic success.
Oh, I can only imagine. Absolutely. Tell me, and I may be catching you off guard if you don't know this, no worries, but approximately how many children do you help per year with both eyes and teeth?
Oh, well, that's an easy number.
Right?
We have traditionally, before COVID, we've been seeing between 4,000 and 5,000 dental patients every year in just Clay and Platte. And that decreased, of course, during a couple of those years where kids were not in school, and
Yep.
and there was some confidence and trust issues with dental care with COVID, but we're creeping right back up there to before COVID days. We're seeing about 5,000 dental patients a year.
Hmm.
We are doing screenings, the vision screenings. We're screening about 18,000 kids a year, and then we get about between 12 and 1,500 of those children on our van for an eye exam. And it ends up about 2/3 of those kids actually need glasses. So we're so thankful that we were able to get those children on the van and identify a need where they really did need glasses. So
Wow. Well, I am a big believer in the more you give, the more you get back. And the other saying that you always hear is it takes a village. And I truly believe that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you come on. A lot of my friends know that I'm involved in Hillcrest that helps homeless. I've done things for Feed Northland Kids that are children that don't have lunch or meals at home. And the other part is now just having you come join us. Give me some ideas. Obviously, the point of me doing this is just to help educate our communities, let people know what's going on. How can we give back to you? Maybe is it through helping with your event in the spring, the fashion show? Give us some ideas of what our audience and guests can help and share back to Level Up Kids.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned those other organizations because we work hand in hand with Hillcrest,
Do
with
you?
Synergy Services, with Feed Northland Kids. We're all working together really to serve a lot of the same families and same children. So I love that you're involved with them as well. And we have all those agencies on speed dial here at Level Up Kids, and we're always making sure that our families have all the things that they need. So but one of the things that we do every spring is we have an event called Brush Up on Fashion. And we hold that at Argosy Casino. It's an evening event where we serve a delicious dinner that Argosy prepares. We usually have wine and cocktails, which have all been donated to Level Up Kids. Last year, Jay Rieger donated all kinds of fun prepared cocktails. And we had different vendors donate wine, and we have beautiful decorations, but along with dinner and a fashion show. And the fashion show is so fun because we have several of our kiddos up there that are Level Up Kids patients. We have community leaders like Clay and Platte County commissioners. We have school principals and superintendents. We have business owners. And it's very fun. It's not kind of a hooty tooty fashion show. It's local boutiques and Dillard's at Zona Rosa. They all have on a spring outfit, and it's really, really fun to watch. But in addition to the fashion show and great food and drinks, we have a live auction and a silent auction. And so we're always trying to get really great items. And so if your listeners, own a business and they can donate something like, artwork or a spa experience or tickets, if your business owns, Chiefs tickets or Royals tickets or Sporting KC, any of the concert venues that we have here in town, if they have concert tickets. Any of those things are big sellers. We've also had people donate like a weekend at their lake house at Lake of the Ozarks or, anywhere. If they have, one of our board members has a condo in Vail, and he always donates a week at his condo in the summer. He puts a caveat that it's in the summer because he likes to be there in the
Still,
winter.
it's so beautiful then.
I know, but I would love to be in Vail in the summertime. So that is always a big item for us. Any artwork, really anything. They could always reach out and say, hey, I'd like to donate this. Would this be helpful? So, any of those items would be appreciated for our event. We also encourage people to, we buy through Level Up Kids, we purchase toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, and these little toys, that we give away to all the kids that come in for appointments and so forth. So if anybody would like to host a oral health care drive at their business and have employees bring in toothbrushes that are individually wrapped, the travel size toothpaste and floss, pardon me. And then if anybody has, access to all those fun little goodies, that we can give away, as little toys in our prize box, we appreciate all those things being donated because we do purchase those through a vendor who gives us a great discount, but it helps us in our costs if someone could donate those items.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, what if somebody wanted to make a donation either for an item for the auction or maybe a cash donation? We are coming up on the fourth quarter, which is often the end of the year when people are doing financial planning and looking for places to make a donation. What is the best way? Do we log onto your website? Is that something that you can share with us?
Absolutely. Right when you go to levelupkidsinc.org, you'll see an opportunity to make a donation. And we currently actually have a really unique thing going on right now. It's actually through the Linscomb Foundation. They gave us a challenge grant this year. And any individual, these are not businesses, but they're challenging us to get new individual donors. Any individual that donates $1,000 or more will be matched in a double way by the Linscomb Foundation. So anybody who logs in and makes a $1,000 donation, then we get a $2,000 matching gift from the Linscomb Foundation. And that goes through the end of January of 24, actually, is that matching grant opportunity. But I mean, every little bit helps. If anybody wants to just go to our website and, donate $10, $100, or anything like that. And you can designate it to either dental or vision, or you can just make it, an organizational donation as well. If you have a passion for dental care and you want, your dollars to go directly to that, we can do that as well. So the website is the easiest.
Okay.
I'm certainly happy to share my email and my work phone number if anybody wants to reach out to me and ask questions about auction items or event tickets or sponsorships or anything like that. They can reach me at Christy, Christy, at levelupkidsinc.org. And my direct phone number is 816-682-9944. I'm happy to visit with anybody about ways to donate or get involved with Level Up Kids.
I love it. I was making the notes and writing everything down. So we will be sure to put that in the comments for when we put this on social media. And Christy, thank you so much, not only for joining us today, but for all that you do to give back to our community. I know you're involved in several different organizations and are always just trying to put others first. And that is amazing. Thank you for helping the kiddos in our community.
You're so welcome. And if you don't mind, I can just close with a cute little story.
Yes, would love it. Please.
So we were at Maple Park Middle School. This was last school year, and our vision team was there, and we were on site with the van doing eye exams. And the principal was, just enjoying watching the kids get their eye exams. And I happened to be there as well, kind of watching how things were happening because our vision program is still fairly new, but we were all there visiting about how great it was that we were able to offer this service. And he said, I have a child that is in the recovery room a lot. And if anybody listening doesn't know what the recovery room is, kind of like the timeout room. It's where you send children when they're not behaving well in class and they're not staying on task. And so this young man was in the recovery room often. And he said that he went by the recovery room and this young man was in the recovery room again. And he said, "Hey dude, what are you doing in here all the time?" And this young man said, "I don't like school and I don't understand what's going on. I have no interest in what's going on in my classroom. So I do things to get, removed from the classroom so I can go in here to the recovery room." So he called up this young man's guardian, who happened to be his grandfather. He's being raised by his grandfather. And the grandfather did not know, maybe didn't really think about looking through the backpack or read emails, that the vision van was there. And he said, "I think that your grandson might benefit from an eye exam because he has no interest in school. And for all we know, he, can't really see very well in the classroom." So Grandpa gave a verbal approval for us to do an eye exam, and we did an eye exam on him that afternoon, and he had a tremendous need for glasses. I mean, his vision was really, really poor. And then the principal called me a few weeks later and he says, "This young man is in the classroom, he is engaged, and his behavior is so much better. He has so much catching up to do, but he is now all of a sudden interested in being in the classroom. He has these stylish glasses on and he kind of gets it, you know what I mean, is seeing what's going on." So that's just one example of how sometimes we just don't know, that kids are not having the tools that they need to learn, and we're here to help identify those needs and provide them. So thanks for having me. It's been a
That's
pleasure.
amazing.
Yep.
Thank you. And what a great way you changed that boy's life by
We did.
an exam.
We did. That
By an
sounds kind of
exam.
cheesy, but we did. We changed the trajectory of his learning, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that story. Thank you for everything and have a great day. Bye,
All right,
Christy.
we'll see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.